It is time to go racing in the Gatorade Cup Series once again. Just one day after the Michigan race, we are here at the Denver Motorsports Park in Colorado for the running of the Southwest 400. On the pole for today's race, Jake Galway in car number 11. Beside him in second place, the 6 car of Evan Hunter. Then in third, it's Conrad Evans. Fourth place, Sebastian Kukulon. And rounding out the top 5, the 3 car of Bronson Minnick. Then in 6th place, we have Anthony, as he's won here before. In 7th, it's Derek Hamill. 8th place for Roman Fenway. 9th for Cole Luigi. And Nottingham Scott, the 66, rounds out the top 10. Back behind them, Diglia Pez 34, and down to his inside teammate, Riley Sampson in the 38. Then there's TJ Hanley in the 21, and the 4 car of John Smith. Then we have 51 of Colin Teague, and the 37 of Caden Lynn. Then there's BB Ruiz in the 00, and the 19 of Jay Jefferson. He's also won here before. Then there's Eli Bryan, the 88, the driver that Jefferson beat to win here. And to his inside, last race winner at Michigan, Riley Sprogitip in the 22. Then we have 96 Antonin Charlebois and 36 Griffin Lynn, along with the 10 of Ross McTrain and the 2 car of Luke Rainey. Then there's Riley Cresswell, and second in points at Daytona 500 champion Max Rossi, the 81, 2 top 5s to start the season. Then there's Marshall Burrow in the 14 and the 52 of Zachary DeLello, along with Cody Anderson in the 95 and the 48 of Keegan Thompson. Then we have Samat Oskin and Nathan Baird in the 77. Then there's Levi Shones and Jay Randall, 53, along with the 1 of Michael Gregory and the 41 of Justin Zeidel, 43 Max Anderson, 24 Brett Sierra, Logan Williams and Brandon Beal. In the final row, 2 big names, Jonathan Buford, the points leader, top 3 finishes to start the season, and back in 42nd, Jeff Wright in car number 9. There's our 4-2 car field for racing here at the Denver Motorsports Park in Aurora, Colorado. Let's go on trackside to go racing here on the West Coast.
Drivers, start your engines.
.42 engines roar to life here in Colorado for the first West Coast race of the Gatorade Cup Series season number 13. A very, very unique racetrack here in Colorado for sure at the Denver Motorsports Park. 2.28 miles in length, in between the lengths of Daytona and Michigan. The last 2 tracks we've not gone to a track less than 2 miles in length so far this season. 27 laps in the Southwest 400, and a track where track position means so much. Jake Galway and Evan Hunter on the front row, but they have 2 RCR cars back behind them, with Conrad Evans in 3rd and Bronson Minnick in 5th. RCR won this race last season with Keyshawn Richardson in the last lap pass of Trey Rainey. So Jake Galway leads to the green flag and the 11. Let's see how this start goes for the Southwest 400. Galway on the gas, and green flag, it's go time in Denver. Already, Conrad Evans moving Jake Galway to the outside lane. The 8 car wants the lead. But here comes to the bottom as they get side by side. 3 wide comes Derek Hamill in the 32. Can he make it stick on the bottom lane? Now here is the crucial test. 3 and 4, the bottom lanes. You have to check up in the middle sometimes more than others. And it hurts Derek Hamill right there through the middle. He drops back. But Conrad Evans in the middle lane, able to make it work. Hunter from top to bottom to try and get by Jake Galway. But to lead the first lap of the race, the 8 car, Conrad Evans does it. Evans leads the first lap. He's never won a cup race. Looking to do it here today. But Evan Hunter on his back bumper entering turn 1. Hamill trying to get low on Jake Galway. Now through 1 and 2, you can make it work on the inside better than through 3 and 4. As you can see, Bronson Minnick's really not had a great start in the 3 car. He's stacked up numerous times, whether it be he's on the bottom, the middle, or the top. That 3 car is not been able to get going no matter where he is on the racetrack. Evan Hunter trying to make the bottom work against Conrad Evans, getting a little tight down low, having to get out of the gas. The 8 car, though, can't commit to the gas on the top side. And as they come back around, the second lap lead might go to the 6 of Evan Hunter. Oh, so close to the start-finish line, but the 6 does beat the 8 there. Hunter leads the second lap of the Southwest 400, and Derek Hamill's looking 3 wide out of line. Another big thing about this track, it is very high draft-oriented. If you don't have draft, you're not really going places. You can see how with Hamill, he got no help whatsoever in his lane, and now he's dropping back Cole Luigi to his outside the 42 car. You can already see the spread out nature of this field. That's why we said track position oh so important here at Denver. If you're not up inside the top 10 to start, you probably are not going to have a shot to the win. You know, we've seen drivers come from the back to the front, finish inside the top 10 here before, but I don't recall the farthest back someone started and being able to win a race here. It's oh so hard to make your way through the field in a timely manner. It's only a 27-lap race. 3 wide back here, down to the inside, Minnick and Jefferson, 2 teammates, Riley Sampson and Diego Yepez. Up in front of them, Battle Kukulan to the inside. That's the 13 of Anthony Nunes, who's won here before, back in Season 9. Derek Hamill disposes of Colucci for a second. They've run down Evan Hunter once again. The draft so important at this racetrack. Hunter being out there so far has no draft, and that's why these drivers are able to close in just a little bit onto that 6 car down these straightaways. Battle for 4th is on. Conrad Evans can make the inside through 3 and 4 work. Never have to let out of the gas. And right there, he gets by Jake Galloway or pulls through. So Evans, who led the first lap, back up to P4 in the 8 car. I think right now the 8 looks pretty strong. Jake Galloway hasn't really had the best car to start here, but he's hanging around inside the top 5. Maybe his car coming longer in the run. Bronson Minnick is a driver who really probably wants this thing to go green the whole way and not have any short runs. That 3 car was not good at all on this initial start. The first 2 or 3 laps, he was on the outside, middle, bottom, falling back wherever he was, and now he's found a way in line in 7th place. Now the front 4, bumper to bumper. We'll see who gets through 3 and 4 the best. It's going to be the 6 of Hunter. But Hamill, I think, back in the gas just a little bit sooner than the 6 car, trying to get a run down this front straightaway using the draft. Battle for 6th, as there goes Colucci for 2nd on that 32 of Derek Hamill. We'll see if he can make it work, because the 8 of Evans went high with Derek Hamill in the 32. Behind them, Bronson makes inside of Kukulan, and looks like he's going to be able to make that pass work pretty decently. As Code does clear for 2nd, Jake Galloway gets by Conrad Evans to get to 4th. And I believe Derek Hill's going to be able to keep 3rd, though, with that draft off the 42 and the 6. Galloway still trying to get by Evans for 4th. Can't clear him, and right there, he has to check up big time. The 8 car through the middle of the racetrack. I believe he's going to be able to clear the 11 with ease down this front straightaway. That was a very, very good move for Conrad Evans, and he does clear, keep 4th. Now Minnick up into this battle along with Kukulan, Hernandez, Hanley, Yepez, Jefferson, and Riley Sampson. Also Ruiz and Caden Lynn trying to latch on. The front 4 team have gotten away. 15th place is 2nd in points, Max Rossi. A 1st and a 4th to kick off Rossi's season. However, he's 2nd in points because Jonathan Buford led a lap at Michigan. Rossi did not. But Max definitely has a lot of momentum early on this season with that Daytona 500 victory as well. Hunter still maintaining that lead. Conrad Evans in 4th, trying to close in. Kukulan has gone up to 5th. He got by the 3 and the 11 both. Galloway now back to 6th. Minnick is now 7th. Hanley is 8th. Hernandez back to 9th. And the battle for 10th. Jefferson is outside Yepez. And trying to shoot in the middle of that is the 38 of Riley Sampson. They'll be 3 wide for the top 10. And I believe Jefferson will be able to clear those 2 front row cars. Evans shuffled out as Kukulan looks low. Front 2 trying to step away as Colucci pushes Evan Hunter down this back straightaway. You can see the gap in the field as basically that second half of the field. That's where most of the checkup occurs, and that's where it hurts the most. Luigi trying to find a way around the 6 of Evan Hunter. Can't make it work there that time as back here Kukulan and Minnick battle again as Jake Galloway's got back around inside the top 5. Just behind these 2, TJ Hanley pushing Kukulan clear, trying to get clear himself. He'll take 7th away from Bronson Minnick, who's back to 8th and maybe even 9th. Here comes Jay Jefferson. I believe he won here in Season 10, that was. Driving the 78 car, beat Eli Bright to the start-finish line to win it. That was one of the most interesting races where either driver who won it was going to have a big storyline. Eli Bright had the Denver Broncos on the hood of that car, obviously in Denver territory, and Jay Jefferson was driving for Furniture Row Racing, team based out of Colorado. And Jefferson now with Joe Gibbs Racing as Furniture Row's closed down. Jefferson trying to win here again behind the wheel of a different team, different manufacturer. Battle for 3rd. Evans to the outside of Hamill. Not going to make it work in the middle. Galloway trying to get by the 8 car. But it's been the same front 2 for the last 5 or so laps. It's been Hunter, followed by Colucci. Code cannot find a way around our race here, the 6 quite yet. Evans with the run onto Hamill once again. So This time a big run for Conrad Evans off turn 4. I believe that 8 car might be one of the strongest cars here today. He's been making some big moves on the inside lane. It's working out for him. He's now up to 3rd in that 8 car, 10 laps gone in this race. He led the first lap. Hunter's led every other one since. Still out in front of Code Luigi, Conrad Evans, Jake Galway, and now Sebastian Kukulon up inside the top 5. Derek Hamill on the drop back to the outside of Hanley, who clears for 6th. So car number 32 now back outside the top 5 for the first time here today. And pressuring him is the 19 of Jay Jefferson right here. Well, Jefferson really had to check up. Here comes Minnick in 9th and Sampson in 10th to try and come forward. 13 Hernandez. 37 Caden Lind, Max Rossi, ever so slowly, picking up spots one by one, trying to get by Anson and Charbot. The Traffrey Pez going to take him to the outside. Here comes Nonigan Scott, Samet Oskin, Riley Spurr to winner at Michigan, then Riley Cresswell, and Baby Ruiz are the top 20. Fenway John Smith, also appeared along with Zachary DeLello. These drivers back here, stragglers, Nathan Baird, Jay Reno up the track, to his inside Marshall Burrow. There's Luke Rainey and Cody Anderson, Max Anderson, Logan Williams, Brandon Beal, Justin Zidell, Levi Shones, Colin Teague. It's not been the day for Hendrick Motorsports. All their cars are 35th or worse. Jeff Bright, Brett Sierra, 35th and 37th. Eli Bright's 38th. Keegan Thompson is 39th. It has been a disaster for Hendrick and a disaster for our points there, Jonathan Buford. He started back in 41st. He's now 42nd. Front 3 have gapped just a little bit. Hunter, Luigi, Evans. Galway is in 4th, Hanley now up to 5th. So TJ looks like he has a pretty good car at this stage of the race. Battle for 6th, Hamill back to the inside of Kukulon, the 54 trying to side draft down the straightaway. Here comes Jay Jefferson and Bronson Mick to make it a 4-car race for that spot. This is for 6th. Kukulon way up the track, Hamill to clear for that spot, so move Derek back up to P6. Jefferson inside of Kukulon trying to get that spot away. But they're all waiting as we're about halfway through the Southwest 400 caution free so far. 2 different leaders. And they're both inside the top 3. Evan Hunter's led all but 1. Conrad Evans was the one who led the first lap of this race. We'll see if at any point Code is able to step out onto that 6th of Hunter and make a move for the race lead. Problem is, these lap times that these guys run are so similar, so close. It's so hard to find where you have an advantage over the guy in front of you, especially if Hunter has that clean air. Oh, so tough to make a pass when you're in dirty air and the guy in front of you is in clean air like this. Galway's now closed down along with TJ Henley, so it's going to be 5 cars under a blanket for the lead. Hamill trying to latch on in 6th with Jefferson in 7th, Sampson, Kukulon, and Minnick round at the top 10. And Max Rossi still carving up through the pack. Just got by to get to 12th place by the 13 of Hernandez. Now trying to pressure Caden Lind for 11th. So that 81 pretty fast at this stage. He's trying to get up into the top 10. Trying to keep his top 10 streak at the start of the season alive. And he could possibly be the only driver so far this season to score top 10 in the first 3 races. Code Luigi trying to use a defensive line down this front stretch. He did not get a run off turn 4 like he wanted. Conrad Evans had a run. He saw that, so he ran a little bit lower, and that put Evans to the outside. And now Jake Galway's inside the 8 car. Getting a little side draft entering turn 1. Jake Galway, I believe, will be able to clear for 3rd as well right here. We'll have to see. TJ's giving the help to the 11 car right there with some draft. That's bringing Hamill and Jefferson into this battle. It's going to be 7 cars. Galway's probably going to have to check up right here to see if Evans can get back in the gas, and that's really Evans' strong point. It's been turns 3 and 4. I don't know if I've seen that 8 car to check up, whether it be on the bottom or the top. So Evans really strong on that end of the racetrack, and that's the end of the racetrack that leads to the start-finish line. So if he can get up by Cole Luigi, he might have a shot to get by the 6 of Hunter as well, but it's just a matter of, do you want to pass that 42 now and possibly ruin both your guys' chances? Do you want to try and push that 42 by? Because you know Code probably isn't going to make the move until later in this race. We're getting down to the final 10 laps, so it's getting down to crunch time here in Denver. Evan Hunter's led all but 1 lap here today from 2nd starting position. Code Luigi in 2nd has followed him for the last 10, 13 laps. Conrad Evans led the first lap of the day, but has not been able to get back up front since. And Jake Galway started on pole, but lost it on lap 1 to the guy right in front of him. TJ Hanley has battled up nicely from starting a little bit further back in the field. Jay Jefferson and Derek Hamill also hanging around in 6th and 7th, they'll have a shot if those front 5 start battling in a big way. Now it's 4 cars nose to tail lined up. TJ Hanley going to try to make it 5 cars like that. But no one's stepping out quite yet. Code with a run off turn 4. He's going to hang a left to the inside, but no help to him. Evans giving the help to the 6, and right there, Hunter stays clear. As the 8 got to the outside of the 42, that stalled them both out, but now Evans has a run the outside. He may be able to clear this 42 right here for second. And he did. Jake Galloway helps Conrad Evans get cleared in second. So that was a move, just not what we were thinking. The 8 got around the outside of the 42. Now Hanley with Code, but what can Conrad do with Evan now? 8 to go at the line. The only 2 drivers to lead laps here today, 1st and 2nd. Hanley almost looked 3 wide on Code and Jake. TJ really had to check up there in 5th, and he'll lose ground. Now it's a 4-car breakaway as Code and Jake try to rally back in onto the front 2. Back here, 10th place is currently Caden Lynn. Sampson trying to stay ahead of Samet Oscar, who's moved up nicely. Nonigan Scott inside the top 15, the 66. Riley Spurgeon just with him. Schwablock, Cresswell, Baird, and Ruiz are right now the top 20. So some drivers starting to move their way forward in a nice way. Someone who's fallen back a big ways. The 13 bringing us back to 25th. He was up inside the top 10, top 5 early on this race. So he's really struggled here. And still Jonathan Buford back in 42nd. 7 laps remain this time by. Hunter still leading, Evans in 2nd, Luigi with a run now to the inside of the 8 car. I just don't know if that 8's as strong as that 42, but he was the one who made the pass. The 42 didn't. Jefferson on his teammate Jake Galloway for 4th. It's been the first we've seen Jefferson inside the top 4 all race. First we've seen him inside the top 5 all race. Now he's moving low for 3rd on Conrad Evans. Can he make it work is the question. If he can get by him in 3 and 4, he has a shot because that 19 is pretty strong. Can he make it stick? Code Luigi trying to get everything he can to Evan Hunter. Drove it in deep and tried to make it stick. Evans with the run off the top side, trying to stay clear of Jade Jefferson. 4-car pack behind these front 4. Hanley in 5th. Galloway back to 6th. Kukulon 7th. Hamill is 8th. And they have 6 laps to get by the 6 of Evan Hunter. Jefferson again with a peek to the inside of Conrad Evans, and this time might be able to make it work through turns 1 and 2 on the bottom. And he did, all but cleared him. Down the back, still side by side. Hanley giving the draft to Evans. But Jefferson, I think, has it this time by to the inside and does get to 3rd. So now Jefferson might have a shot in the front 2. 5 to go to the line for Evan Hunter, who's dominated the day. But the last driver to dominate here did not win the race. They were passed on the last lap. 5 laps to go for Evan Hunter in the 6. But a hard-charging Jade Jefferson might be the one he has to worry about, not Code Luigi. Evans now back to 4th, bound for 5th. Hanley inside of Jake Galloway. Here they race down the backstretch. 4 laps at the line is all that's left. I'll tell you, that 66 and Nonigan Scott's pretty fast at this stage in the race. He's flying up through the field. He can try and get a top 10 out of it. Luigi a better launch off turn 4 than Evan Hunter, but just slightly, not enough to make a move. Now 4 to go, and Jefferson lost the ground he had just gained onto the front 2. He did not go off turn 4 well. Now he's back into the clutches of Conrad Evans and TJ Hanley. They need those front 2 to go side by side. They get side by side, a huge holes punched in the air, and then it's on from there. Them staying single file, it's just so hard to make a pass work. Back there you can see that 66 still coming through the field up to 13th. Rossi and Sprotu with 2 winners this season, 14th and 15th. It looks like some other is going to join them this season. But who inside the top 3, top 5 can do it? Will Evan Hunter lead all but 1 lap to victory? Can Code Luigi's Road second all race find where the 6 is weak? Can Jefferson keep his rally alive and score a 2nd win at this racetrack? Can Conrad Evans get his 1st in the Cup Series? And how about the wily veteran of TJ Hanley, raced in every single race, hanging around in 5th in case the front 4 start getting crazy? 2 laps at the line is left. Hunter has just done a great job here today being able to hold off that 42 of Code Luigi. He hasn't really put a wheel wrong all race until right then! Code gets to the inside! Side drift the 6 back to him! Back around to 2 laps to go this time by! At the stripe, Code Luigi led! The run for Jay Jefferson, Conrad Evans in the draft to turn 1! Jefferson's got a nice run. He can try and hang on left to the inside of Code. Get down to that apron. Jefferson is second behind Code Luigi. Now Jefferson with the run off turn 2. Evan Hunter back to third. Now can Jay Jefferson do anything with Code Luigi? The white flag this time by in Denver. Hunter wide. Evans to his inside. It's a 2-car race. Code Luigi leads them off turn 4. Jefferson with the run the draft takes it to the outside. We're in the final 2.28 miles. Last lap at Denver. The Season 5 champion and the driver's been here since Season 2 and has 1 year before. Jefferson looks outside of Code Luigi in turns 1 and 2. Oh, he went really wide though. Code pulls away. That's going to be it. Code Luigi with a huge gap there side by side for second. Evan Hunter trying to get back by to get to P2. But long gone is the 42 car. He was patient all race. Didn't make a move until he needed to. He saw Hunter go wide through 3 and 4. He made the move then. Code Luigi will steal it from Evan Hunter. Down the front stretch he comes. Code Luigi will win again the Gatorade Cup Series. This time it's in Denver. Battle for second. I believe the 19 of Jefferson beat him to the start finish line, the 6 of Hunter. But Code Luigi, he started the season pretty strong. And it's still going. 3 races in. He wins one in Denver. He might actually take over the points. He was up there in points before the start of this race. Let's go see the finishing results and how the points are 3 races into the season. Here's how they finished in the Southwest 400 at the Denver Motorsports Park. No caution flags here today in this race, and 2 lead changes. 3 drivers saw the lead, and the one who stole it at the end, leading only the final 3 laps. Code Luigi makes the pass of the dominant car, Evan Hunter, to get to victory lane in the 42 car. Jay Jefferson drove from 17th up to 2nd here today, however just 1 spot short. He was side by side with Code Luigi into turns 1 and 2 on the last lap, but was on the outside, which hurt him at the end. Evan Hunter, you have to feel for him. Led all but the first lap and the final 3 laps. 23 of 27 laps led, but ends up in 3rd here today. Good points day for Evan, but what it could have been if he didn't go wide in turns 3 and 4. Conrad Evans up at the front inside the top 5 all day. Ends up in 4th, led the first lap of the race. And TJ Hanley rounds out the top 5 in the 21 car. Then Sebastian Kukulon gets 6th. Derek Hamill 7th. Bronson Minnick 8th. Jake Galloway from pole gets 9th. And Samet Ozgen from 32nd battles up to get a top 10. A very, very solid run there for Samet. Down here as we look down, Max Rossi gets 15th. And with that, he's back into the points lead, and it's once again by 5 points. It's been a 5-point lead for whoever's been the points lead so far for every race this season. As you look down, and obviously he's in front because it was not a good day for Jonathan Buford. 39th after starting 41st. He can make no progress whatsoever. Our Michigan winner, Riley Spurgeon, to 21st. He was up inside the top 15 for a little bit, but fell back. But what a day it was for Hendrick Motorsports, and that's not in a good way. Their cars, 34th for Brett Sierra, 37th for Keegan Thompson, 38th for Eli Bright, and then Jeff Bright, 41st. Hendrick Motorsports had a dismal day here in Denver, and it showed as all 4 of their cars placed 34th or worst. Let's now go see the point standings after the 3rd race of the season. Here are the points after Denver. No one has finished top 10 in all 3 races so far this season. But Max Rossi has finished top 5 in 2 of them, a 15th in the other one, which was today. And Rossi, our Daytona 500 winner, back on top in points. Code Luigi with the winner today moves up to 2nd, only 5 behind Rossi. Then you have Derek Hamill, very, very quiet season so far, but ends up in 3rd. Riley Spurgeon, our Michigan winner, now 4th. And Nathan Baird, the 77, rounds at the top 5. Jonathan Buford leading points after Michigan. Started out this season with a 2nd and a 3rd. But a bad day here. He's down in 6th in points now. Riley Cresswell is 7th. Jay Jefferson is 8th. Diego Yepes 9th. And Sebastian Kukulon rounds out of the top 10. All 3 of our winners so far this season inside the top 5 in points, which means the 2 wildcards would go to the 3 and the 2. Minnick 11th in points, Luke Rainey 12th in the point standings. And so far, it's been a pretty decent season for the Toyotas. Max Rossi of Toyota up there leading the points after winning the Daytona 500. Jonathan Beeford, Riley Cresswell, Jay Jefferson, 3 of the 4 JGR guys, 6th, 7th, and 8th in points. So that's 4 Toyotas right now inside the top 10 out of 6 that run? Very, very impressive. Excuse me, 7 Toyotas running, as you also have the 96 Anson and Charbonne 22nd in points. Then you have obviously Cody Anderson 36th and the other JGR driver, Jake Galway, 27th after scoring his first top 10 of the season here today in Denver. Down at the bottom, Brett Sierra, Michael Greger not able to shake their demons so far this season. First 3 races, all 3 have not been good to either one of those drivers. They're hoping to turn it around still early on in the season. Lots of shifting in points left to be determined. Maybe a little bit of a more normal racetrack next race. It's the shortest one we've gone to so far this season. We're going to Texas for the Nationwide 400. I will see you guys then.